The latest, because I know we're all excited and want to know what happens and what will transpire with the Brooklyn Nets. Some things have happened since the last time we chatted. Where do you guys stand on the latest there? Obviously, since the last time we spoke, the meeting between Kevin Durant and Nets owner Joe Tsai came out. The ultimatum that was given per KD, saying it's either the GM and head coach or Kevin Durant. To which Joe Tsai came out with the tweet saying that he supports both Nash and Marks and will make decisions in the best interest of the Brooklyn Nets. Richard, I'll start with you. Your thoughts and your take.
Yes, thanks. What? It just, for me, it's just, I don't understand these things because Chang and I, even as the 30 years of basketball experience we have, this is above our pay grade, even as players, right? It's above our pay grade. So, and of all the superstars that I've ever played with, Tim Duncan, J Kidd, Dirk, all you've seen some things happen over the course of the years, but I just didn't see that. I don't see that as a scenario that why would you give them that ultimatum unless it was like you were trying to be a little bit more aggressive with the trade, right? Hey, come on, let's go here. All right, here, cool. This is how I'll come back. You get rid of them, I'll come back. No, okay, well, we're gonna, that's the only thing I can think of is he's not trying to make the situation worse or toxic or anything. I just think that he's like, listen, unless you're going to meet these demands, let's not play like this is going to be an amicable fix. Let's not say hey, I'm just going to come to training camp and we'll see if the best offer comes in December, right? Maybe he's trying to expedite that process. I don't know. I just didn't see that as a real honest. That's kind of like one of those fake offers. Here, I'm just going to give you an offer knowing damn well that it's not realistic.
Well, I think for KD, right, and his, regardless of what you think of KD, social media wise, he's a smart dude, and it is probably his team is yo, you need to put pressure on the Nets to not take the best deal for themselves, but to get a deal done so that you can go to training camp with whatever new team you're going to go to. Mm-hmm. Right? So there is the only pressure a player of that caliber can put on the team is social media pressure of why are you keeping him? We don't want him. Get rid of him. We're not going to wear his jersey. Steve doesn't want him. Now he has to, because of how good he is, he's starting to understand the Nets are who are we going to get back? Who are we going to get back? The only pressure he has is to go, you know what? Fuck you and get this done because now I don't like you, which really may not be the case, but you got to say that. You got to say something crazy to incite emotion where the owner goes, you know what? If you don't want to get out of here, get out of here. And Joe Tsai goes, well, I'm going to sit on it because you're Kevin Durant. I paid you. You owe me what is due on the contract, and I'm going to do what's best. You have to play.
Which is still
you have to play.
4 years, $198 million.
Who are you getting back? Right? Who are you getting back? Let's say, KD pressured you to get a bad deal, and all of a sudden you look like a big dummy because he said, but I don't like Steve Nash or
this didn't improve his trade value. And if you're the Nets, this possibly lowered his when we say lower his trade value, right? It's maybe instead of instead of you getting 10 picks and 2 All-Stars, you're going to get 9 picks. But let's just say it didn't help the Nets from a negotiating standpoint if they're talking to teams, right? And I think that might be the, hey, look, this can go one way where all of a sudden the value for KD starts to change. Not that much because it's Kevin Durant, but I do think that there could be, who knows what the tactics are. This one's going to be, we're in August. Who knows?
We've seen it in the past, though, albeit it's not a player necessarily of the caliber of Kevin Durant. But could this be a situation where Kevin Durant is not moved and does not show up for training camp? Or if he's not moved, will he still show up for training camp?
Kevin Durant's a hooper.
Yeah.
I think he's going to show up. He doesn't want that attention. He's going to show up and hoop. Are you going to get emotionally invested, Kevin Durant? Is he going to turn in to other people who just throw a fit because they don't want to be there? I don't think so. You look at Philly. Philly said, okay, get up out of here with Ben Simmons and don't be around the team, and wasn't paying him. I think the NBA, Kevin Durant doesn't want to be right after Ben Simmons when it came to that situation of I want to go, but what's best for the team, what's best for me, right? There are things you don't want to come after him, because then you're going to be the example of how the NBA got to hammer down on that, because then it becomes a habit of superstars going, well, if you're not going to trade me, I'm not going to play.
Yeah,
but
I
pay
don't.
me
Right.
anyways.
But that's
you don't want to do that. He's a hooper. He's going to play.
But that's also the thing that I think, like, for these teams, it's this fine line, right? Like, though, like, he's under, like, and I know, like, a lot of the reporters say this, well, it's fine. He's under contract for 4 years. So the Nets have, plenty of time. And you're like, oh, like, it just never goes well when you do that. It is never in history. When the player shows up, doesn't show up, it never goes well for either side. You force a player to show up that doesn't want to be there, even if he's showing up. I've been on teams where players look like they were playing hard, but they were giving it about 60% effort, just because they don't care. Like, he's going to be an all-star. He's going to be this. But if he's not locked in, if he's not invested, if he's not doing anything, it just becomes toxic for the entire team.
Super toxic.
And your value of him is not going to go up. If the Nets start off 500, KD's averaging 22 points a game, but he's not, like, really locked in.